Hey, how's it going? Path of Exile 2 Early Access is here. So it's time what? It's time to embrace the chaos. Yes, it's time to embrace, well, the highs, the challenges, the loot, and everything that we're going to be able to expect once you start playing the game. So this video is going to help you guys out because I feel that it did help me out. I had to do quite some research to be able to get ready for Path of Exile 2, and I hope that this video does the same for you. So I'm going to be explaining a lot of different things that is going to guide you on your first maybe 20-30 hours that you're going to be able to jump into the game. This comes from the information from various interviews that the developers have done. So I've gone and gotten as much information as I could so I could be ready, and hopefully it does the same for you. Now, if you are a pro and you're watching this video, you know what, just drop it in the comments and just give us more tips because it will help us out. So I think what we're going to be starting with is first is the HUD. And we got to take a look at the HUD, guys. This thing looks crazy. Now, if we're able to see from left to right, and we're going to go on the left side, we have our health. Then you have your flask. Then in the middle, you have your XP. We have on the right side skills, and far right is going to be the mana, and right on top is going to be the status effects. It's very important that you guys know this before you even start playing the game because it does get a little bit overwhelming. So as you start playing, every single battle that you are in it is going to matter. Loot's going to matter. So as you're starting early access, you're going to have to go through 3 different acts. You're going to start as normal difficulty. Now, these acts are packed with quests that's going to guide you through a bunch of lore, mechanics, and also functionalities of how the different skills work. Through the end, you're going to be able to learn on how to play with whatever class you guys choose to play as. And yes, enemies hit hard, especially bosses hit hard. So that is why loot is so important in this game. Path of Exile 2 is going to throw a bunch of gear right in front of you. Have you guys ever gone to a candy store and seen a lot of candy? Well, that's how it feels when you're about to play this game. You're going to get so much loot that you're going to get overwhelmed. But it's better to focus on a couple of things. So, gear that boosts your damage, resistance, and survivability are going to be a key. If you're brand new to the game, which you probably are if you're watching this video, those 3 different things are going to help you stay alive, and also it's going to help you enjoy the game. Now, pro tip. Magic and rare items are going to be like your best friend. If you find them early, get them. Sometimes you get lucky and you're going to get this weapon that has a lot of elemental damage, which either has some type of magic or it has fire or it has something else. Get it, keep it, and use it. And that's going to make things a little bit easier as you are going through the different missions. Now, then we got this big thing that it's called the skill tree. And if you look at it, you feel like you're talking to Elon Musk and you're going up to Mars, and it's like it feels very confusing, right? So this thing has like over, I believe, 100 different skills. But the great thing about it is once you start unlocking it, you can go any direction you want. So that's the fun part of it. But we got 55 skill points by level 45. You'll be able to make meaningful choices that are probably going to adjust your build in a way that you feel more comfortable. So try to focus completing on your primary skill, whether that is lightning bolt, firebolt, or summoning minions, or whatever those things called that the witch uses. Actually, the great thing about it is like you could be any class, you can use any minions in any class. So that's the fun part of it. And also specialize early on your damage output, and that's going to help you a lot. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, we're going to be talking about the Ascendancy classes. In Act 1 through 3, you're going to be able to unlock the first 2 Ascendancy points for any class that you're working on. Now, these are like advanced classes, subclasses if you come from another type of game. So whether you are a ranger or you are a warrior, each of those 2 classes, or the witch or the sorcerer, each of those classes are going to have 2 additional subclasses that you are able to choose. Now, make sure you guys choose wisely because it depends. Like a warrior, you could be a titan, which is pretty lethal, or you could choose the other class that you're able to use more of a two-handed weapons at the same time, which also at the same time you're going to be deal a lot of damage. So it's very important which route you want to go. Okay, so let's just say you went through the whole entire quest line. You went through all the different small quests that are going to give you points. Now we are going to enter into cruel difficulty. So that means that you're going to be able to repeat Act 1, 2, and 3 again. But things get a little easier and also things get a little harder. What do I mean by this? What I'm saying here is that enemies are stronger, bosses are meaner, and yes, your resistance is going to take a big hit. And we're talking about 10% each time you are going into a different level. So if you're advancing through each of the acts, so by the time you're done with Cruel, which is a very hard, difficult level, you're going to have minus 30% on all resistance. So that is why it's so important when you're getting the loot that you're focusing on resistance, because you want to make sure that when you come to minus 30, you have enough that you're going to have good survivability. Now, stack your gear with either fire, lightning, cold resistance, because that's going to be able to help you a lot, especially when you're going against different enemies that have that type of damage that they're going to be outputting on you. So make sure you are taking care of the main things so you are able to survive and also at the same time deal some good damage. Okay, when you're playing, make sure you're always watching your mini map. You just don't want to go in circles and circles and then for a long period of time, and then you're going to be wasting your time. Another thing is I got to tell you is, like, since you're going to get so much loot, if you have a better armor, you pick up something better, just drop whatever you had found. Don't pick up everything because, I mean, you have a limited amount of space that you're going to be able to carry. And also at the same time, you need to always focus on skill gems. Leveling up makes a huge difference when you are going through the different type of acts or you're fighting different enemies, especially whenever you get the support gems. And the only thing with the support gems is that you can only have one in all the different categories that you're going to be able to use. So use that wisely because it can turn the table and make you very powerful without you even knowing. So that is how important it is. So once you complete Cruel, we're looking about level 65, and that is when Endgame opens up. Things become more open, such as like you're going to have unique bosses, crafting mechanics are going to be more available, so it's going to feel like you're free and you're able to do different things. You're going to be able to test out different builds. Of course, you're going to be able to get more loot. So you're looking at from going to a normal good build to something that is going to be unstoppable, and that is what Path of Exile 2 is. The main target is to get to Endgame and have those different type of builds, and of course play on however you want. And that is how the developers made this game. They made a huge skill tree, but it's all up to you if you want to focus on a sorcerer that wants to have more strength and or it wants to have more survivability or be more use more intelligence. Go for it. It's all up to you. Just have this in mind, that always focus on those three things that I had mentioned earlier, which are going to help you to stay alive. So there you go. I hope this video helped you guys out. If you're new to Path of Exile 2, I hope it did that as well. If it did, a like is appreciated. Also, take a look at this other video that is going to help you for Path of Exile 2. It could be a nice build, or it could be a weapon that you definitely need to get to become very powerful. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you